Grumpy Golfers, I hope you are all well. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of A Golfer's Ramblings. Now, if you're new to the channel, please, if you haven't already, subscribe. Lots of content to come, both to help you in your game, answering questions about me and my game, and just loads of stuff really. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, as I say, got some questions and answers for you today off Twitter. Got my phone with the questions on, so let's crack on. In no particular order. First question I've got is from Dave Allen. Thank you for your question, Dave. So Dave's question reads, Gareth Bale has got 3 replica famous holes from the world of golf in his garden in Spain. If I could build just one famous hole in the back garden of Grumpy Golfer Towers, which hole would it be and why? I would say it would be the par 3 12 at Augusta, simply because it's a tough hole. If you miss the hole, if you miss the green, you're struggling. It's a real challenge around your short game, which obviously everybody needs practice on. So if you've got the opportunity to have a great hole for short game, I would always go with that. So yeah, the 12th at Augusta as well. You've got water, there's sand, there's obviously the flower beds at the back, and it's literally a make or break hole. I think. I mean, look at Jordan Spieth the other year, absolutely terrorised his card on one hole. And throughout the years it's happened to many others, so that for me would definitely be the hole of choice in Grumpy Golfer Towers. Thanks for your question, Dave. Now the next question we move on to is from the Combat Golfer. And the Combat Golfer asked me, why do I think there's been a huge rise in YouTube golf channels, and how do I choose the channels I subscribe to? So yeah, of recent months there has been a massive increase from what I've seen of new-ish YouTube channels. The Combat Golfer being one of those. A lot of you, my channel's only small. I've got less than 200 subscribers as this video goes out. Now, I'm not technically a new channel. My channel's been around for 2 years now, so I'm not as new as a lot of people may actually think. But in recent times, there's been a huge influx of that. I think. Wait for the plane to go. No rush, obviously, but all the time in the world. Yeah, and I think the influx of new YouTube channels is on the back of 2 things. I think it's on the back of Golf Vlogs UK's massive success. He's a normal chap, had a painting and decorating business. He's a relatable individual as well. He started vlogging maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And his channel just grown and grown and grown and grown to the point now he's got 40,000 plus subscribers, and something I've never seen before. Within the golf mates, it's like a fraternity, it's like a family. It's a fantastic thing. But also you've got the YouTube Golf Day that Rick Shields done, and I know there's a massive amount of controversy around that, but that, I believe, is one of the biggest catalysts for all these new channels coming out. So that's what I believe. That's why I think all of a sudden there's been a huge catalyst of newer, smaller YouTube channels. Some are absolutely fantastic, like, you know, some of the smaller channels such as the Combat Golfer, Golf Nuts, and a whole host of others are really, really good channels. But don't get me wrong, some of the small channels are absolute garbage. You know, they are, but that's just my opinion. Which brings me on to the next question. How do I choose what I subscribe to? Well, when I first started YouTube, or watching YouTube again, I obviously subscribed to Liam's Golf Vlogs UK, and it was Liam that encouraged me into starting my channel after a few conversations directly with him, and Mark Crossfield. Now, at the time I started watching these, I'd quit golf. I'd quit golf for 7 years. And I started watching Liam, the Dick and Old Man Pat and a few others on the channel, and obviously Mark and Lockie and whoever he was with at the time, and that sort of inspired me to start playing golf again. And obviously, as I say, Liam encouraged me to start my channel. So what do I choose? It has to be entertainment. So if I want an entertaining channel, I'm going to watch things like Liam's channel. And as much as people say it, Mark Crossfield's channel is quite fun when you watch the games. When you watch his 4-ball matches with Lockie and Uncle Dan and Ray, they are fun because it's 4 lads having a game of golf. You see the dramas, you see the ups, you see the downs, you see the heads off. I enjoy that. If I want instructional stuff and educational stuff and things I can learn from, again, I am going to watch Crossfield. it pains me to say, but I'll watch Me and My Golf as much as I have issues with them. That's another story. And again, I'll watch Pete Finch and Rick Shields. Contrary to proper reviews, people don't all like these, and to be honest, I don't watch Pete, Rick and Me and My Golf as a staple. But if I want to specifically know something, and I can't get in with my coach, I'll look through their channels to see if they can answer the question. Why? Because as daft as it sounds, they are good teachers. Yeah? So that's what forms my opinion. If it's fun, I'll watch it. If I can gain something from it, I'll watch it. If it's none of these two, it's not going to get my subscribe button. And that's what forms my channel. That's what forms my opinion on how I choose what I watch. Hope that answers your question, the Combat Golfer. Now, my next question comes from Ant Fieldhouse, Heart of Golf, another new YouTuber himself. And he asked me, what do I enjoy most about doing my content? What do I enjoy most? I enjoy most about, obviously, with the Grumpy Golfer series that I do, I enjoy helping people. Now, I know I'm not a pro, and the drills that I'm giving people and the drills that I'm showing are drills that have been given to me and have helped me improve. As I've stated a lot, I've made massive improvements this season just by putting these things into my practice. So if I can help someone improve by half a shot, I'm happy, and it's helping you guys that I enjoy. Secondly, I enjoy doing these ramblings where I'm interacting with an audience and just the whole community of it all I enjoy. So yeah, it's that really, and that's what I enjoy. I enjoy helping people and interacting with new people, making new friends and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy about doing. And obviously I get to come out on the golf course all the time, or a lot. But obviously, yeah, I can't do it full time. I've got a proper job and a family, but I do it as much as I can, and I love it. So that's that. I hope that answers your question, mate. If you haven't already subscribed to the Combat Golfer and Ant Fieldhouse, get over to their links and get it subscribed. My next question, where have we gone, is from Yeah, it's regular, mate. If you haven't followed this guy on Twitter, follow him. He's quite funny, quite opinionated, but he's definitely worth a follow. His question is, where was my very first 18 holes of golf played? Now, my first 18 holes of golf was played many years ago. I think it was about maybe 11, 12. And it was round a place in the Midlands called Oakridge, which is where I spent most of my junior years after that. First round of golf was with my dad, my next door neighbour, Uncle John, and I can't remember if it was a chap called Midder or Harpo, but there was a few of us all sort of played together. My first round was 120, remember it to this day. My first handicap was 24. Obviously not off the back of that 120, that was sometime later, yeah. So my first round was Oakridge Golf Club, and as I say, I spent many years there. I think I probably spent about 10 years there before I then started to move on to other clubs. So that was where my first 18 hole was played. Yeah, 120 was my first score. What was your first round of golf and what was your first score? Comment below. And my next and quite possibly my final question, yes it is my final question, comes from Sean Hargreaves. Sean's my playing partner in the Golf Vlogs Golf Mates Golf Days, say that drunk, and we played at Sunday, and Sean's question is, what's more important regarding fitness in golf? Is it strength training to gain distance, or is that down to technique, or stamina training to complete 18 holes without fatigue setting in for the last 3 or 4 holes? He's asked the fat lad a fitness question. No, joking aside, I am. Sean's asked this because I'm a qualified personal trainer. Practicing, I ain't. Knowledgeable, I am. So for me, Sean, it needs to be a combination of both, and you can get a tailored plan that will cover both elements. Now, yes, you're going to get a lot of distance from timing and technique in golf, but if you can work on not only strength but speed, if you can increase your club head speed, obviously what the strength is going to do is help you keep things controlled, then you can gain yardage. Yeah, so speed and strength is massively important for distance, but so is flexibility. Let's not forget flexibility. So things like yoga and Pilates will help massively in that area. Now, stamina, depending on the type of course you play. Now, obviously, I know you play at Chorlton quite a bit, so you need to be quite, you've got to be quite fit. It's quite a hilly course in places, so stamina is going to play a massive key in that respect. If you play on a flatter course, for example, Rugby near me, that's relatively flat. Now, you don't need to have a massive amount of stamina. You need some, of course you do, but obviously you don't need as much as somewhere like, as you say, Chorlton. So you need a really strong combination of both. So what you would do is you'd look at your individual makeup to start off with and work out where you need to make the improvements initially. So for me personally, my start point would be stamina. I'm relatively strong, but obviously I'm fat, so I would work on bringing my weight down and increasing my stamina. But at the same time, I wouldn't neglect my strength training. I would potentially do 60% of my training around stamina and 40 towards the strength. Now, as the stamina increases, the strength and resistance training would increase as well. So it's all relevant to your personal fitness at this point, I suppose, really. Now, I've seen you play. You're relatively fit. I would personally yourself work a little bit on your strength and your speed, because you hit the ball well, you find fairways well enough. Work on your strength and your speed, you're going to get that additional distance as well, for sure. So you need a combination of both, and it needs to be tailored as well. It definitely needs to be tailored into the individual. So I hope that answers your question, Sean. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty and the real fine detail, give me a shout, or obviously I know you speak to Mr. James Dixon a lot, who's an absolute gym nut. He'll be able to help you out just as easy. So I hope that answers your question, mate. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope I've answered your questions well, and for those of you that have any other questions for further episodes, please don't hesitate to drop me a message on Twitter, Instagram, or leave it down below. And if you haven't already, guys, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you again.